I've been going to the local pool with my mom because my mom likes swimming a lot. And there's a couple of pools. Like there's loads of local pools all around Tokyo that you can just use. And they're like pretty cheap. But they have like weird, some pools have like weird rules. There's like some really massive pools you can use. Like I think Tokyo, you can use like the government gymnasium, which is the one like, I don't know if it's like the Olympics or it's a huge fucking gymnasium basically. And they have like an actual like Olympic swimming pool, which is like normal. But I took my mom to my local one. We go in there and I've never been in here. And so I'm not used to how they do things at this pool. First of all, I didn't know in Japan, you have to wear a swimming cap, which I've never in my life worn a swimming cap. I have barely enough hair for a swimming cap, but it's like a requirement in Japan to use it. In pretty much all pools, you have to use a swimming cap, which I was like, okay, sure, man. I mean, I guess I can get one. So I got one of them and all good, not too difficult. Because I hate using them because they're so fucking, they squeeze my head. What if you're bald? I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if you're bald. I have a feeling they'll still make you use one. I don't know. When you've already got the nature's bald cap, you know? Maybe it's some kind of, I don't know why. There were a lot of rules that I was like, I don't know. And then like the strangest thing happened. I'll lay out all the rules as they came in chronological order to me, which I was not familiar with. So I walk in after showering, putting on my swimming cap, which I've never used. I was like, okay, what's up? Let's have a lay of the land. So they had a lane, like a couple of lanes. One of them was like for like elderly people to walk in. I was like, okay, sure. And then there's an area where you can just kind of do whatever. And then they had some swimming lanes where you were allowed to like actually swim. And I couldn't figure out how it was working. So I asked the staff, I was like, hey, so like, what's the deal here? Like, which one can I just like swim fast in? Because it looked like everyone was like swimming very leisurely. I was like, I'm trying to get like a little bit of a workout here. And my mom is like a very fantastic swimmer. She's insane at swimming. So I was like, where did the goats go? Where do the goats of swimming swim? And they were like, okay, so what you got to do is you got to swim in the lane. And then when you get to the end, you got to go under into the other lane. I was like, okay, sure. I guess that's fine. It's a little unusual, but I guess that's fine. And they were like, oh yeah. And by the way, you cannot do a tumble turn. Do not do a turn where you tumble. I was like, okay, sure. I guess that's fine too. I mean, kind of weird. I don't know why you can't do that, but all right, sure. That's normal pool. I mean, in the UK, it's not normal. You always have to like stay in the same one. And then you're not allowed to do the, I was like, why can't I do a tumble turn? That seems really weird. The water's not deep enough. I mean, it was kind of deep. I don't know. What's a tumble turn? A tumble turn is where you're swimming and you go like this. And then instead of just stopping and then going again, you do the thing where you like flip underwater and push off the wall. And it's kind of, at least in my experience in my life, I've always been allowed to, I've never had someone tell me I couldn't do it. It kind of helps you keep speed and like momentum because it's also kind of annoying when you stop, right? If you're trying to do quite a lot of distance. Anyway, that was fine. And then it was at something like at a certain time, they started doing this announcement. And obviously I'm swimming. So I'm like, I can't hit the announcement. So I stopped swimming and I'm like, what's the f***'s going on? Everyone is getting out of the pool. And then I'm like, what? Why is everyone getting out of the pool? So I asked the staff while I'm standing up, I'm like, hey, what's going on here? She's like, oh, you got to get out. It's a mandatory 5-minute break. I was like, what? You have to take 5 minutes. I was like, can I wait in the pool? She's like, no, you got to get out of the pool. I was like, all right, okay, sure. I guess I can do that. I mean, so I just stand, I get out, I stand outside of the pool and then they play a little like jingle. They play like a jingle. And I was like, what? Every hour? I didn't know this was normal pool. Nobody told me this. So they were like, get out. I'm just standing and I'm like, all right, waiting for this like music to finish. And then I've had no idea. I've never done this in my life in Japan. So I asked them, I'm like, hey, can I get back in the pool now? And they're like, wait for the song. And they're like, all right. The song finishes and they do like a little announcement, like, hey, and then like everyone jumps back in the pool. I'm like, all right, okay. I was crushing it. I was going for just a 400 meter swim. I got like 250 meters into the swim and they were like, get out. And I was like, fuck. I was like, this is not the vibe. But then I went back again with my mom another day and it was a completely different layout. And then this time they had like swim lessons on and they were like, yeah, you can still go in, you know, just be mindful there's swimming lessons. And so whatever, that went fine, all good. It just meant there was like way less lanes, but sure. Still got my workout in and I got to swim. My mom got to swim as well and she loves swimming, so that was good. So then I'm in the changing room trying to get my clothes back on. And as this was happening, all of the kids finished their swim lessons. So I was in this beautiful, peaceful changing room. It was just me. No one else was there. And like a horde of kids come in. I stand out, obviously, because I'm a white guy and I'm like 3 times the size of all these kids. All of them start talking to me and asking me questions. And I'm just trying to get changed because I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to scare you kids. I just want to get changed. But all of them are like, and I'm like, yes, what's up, little kid? And they're like, Doko kuni kara desu ka? Like, where are you from? And I'm like, Igirisu desu. Like a couple of the kids go, I'm like, all right, thanks, man. So I turn around, I'm trying to get changed. And then this one other kid goes, and I'm like, yes, what's up? And he says some fucking elite ball knowledge Japanese that I was like, I didn't understand what this kid was saying. And then this other kid just goes, Nani ataraku? Oh, like what working? And I was like, YouTube. And they went like, whoa! They all like started all freaking out, and I was like, I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said I was a salary man. I was trying my goddamn hardest to like just get changed while I had a live panel. And you know, obviously I'm just trying to like try my best. I'm like using a towel because like normally in a changing room, I don't give a fuck about being naked, but now I'm like weirdly self-conscious. All these kids are looking at me and I'm just trying to like get changed. I'm doing that thing with the towel where I'm like trying to get my underwear off and get it on while I'm literally in a corner, by the way. I'm like, it's like I'm being bullied by these kids. I'm just trying to get changed because I don't want to fucking flash these kids. It was a nightmare scenario for me. And then when I got out of the changing rooms, I'm putting on my shoes and stuff and I'm waiting for my mom. One of the kids comes up to me afterwards. He's like talking to me again. You know, and all the staff are really nice. They were like super stoked, I guess, that like a random foreigner is just in their pool. And they're all really nice and very polite to me. But then the mom comes up to the kid who's talking to me. She like grabs him by the he's like, don't bother him. I was like, that's fine. I was like, it's chill. I felt bad. But yeah, so that was my experience. I am not going to go there at the same time ever again. I do not want to deal with talking to all these kids. It was not the vibe. I was just trying to do some exercise. And I felt like I ended up in a like some kind of like peep show-esque situation. Trying to get bullied by small kids. I was getting bullied by small kids. They were just curious. I was just not in the vibe to deal with it. I was just there to work out. I was just like, I don't want to be in a changing room as the only adult gaijin. I just don't want to be in this situation. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want this. I don't want this. Too polite to tell them to bugger off. I just didn't want to interact with them at all. I was like, please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. All the Japanese dudes checking out this gaijin. I was like, the optics are horrible. Oh God, get me out of this. But they're already sweet though. In Japan, like most adults do not want anything, like a lot of the time they don't want to talk to you. But kids are always so curious and they're very sweet normally. They're very, I appreciate their willingness. They just want to converse. They're just curious why a fucking foreign guy is just randomly swimming in their pool. That I'm sure no foreigners ever go to this pool. To be fair, I don't change at the gym. I just go to the gym clothes and go home. Well, I mean, yeah, if it was a gym, I would go home and change. That's what I normally do because I just don't like showering at the gym. I don't know, my thing. But I mean, when you're at a pool, you kind of have no choice. That was cute though. Yeah, they were all really sweet. They were all very cute. I mean, I think it's very endearing when all the kids are quite inquisitive. But it was just very funny because I was just like, holy shit, I was not ready for this. I was not mentally ready to handle these questions. Kids are so pure. They are, dude. They're so sweet, man. They're just so curious. And like, they just were wondering like, and one of the kids was like, is UK far from Italy? I was like, no. He's like, we went to Italy, my family. And I was like, that's so sick. I was like, do you know Pokemon? Can we talk about that instead? You standardized test? Dude, that's the thing in Japan. The kids get their spirit crushed. The schooling system crushes all the joy in their life. Kids are so happy in Japan, and then something happens, and around age 15, they're miserable. Not just Japan. I don't know. I remember being quite happy, and people were quite happy when I was growing up, but I could be completely wrong. In fact, I wish in the UK, kids got their soul crushed more, man. They're way too fucking willing to talk to me on public transport. I just don't leave me alone, okay? I don't play your speakers. Don't be having fun. Conform, okay? I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I actually want them to just leave me alone.